Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to this episode of the QuickBooks Lab podcast. My name's Patrick, and I'm here for your listening pleasure to talk about all the things QuickBooks related. We're part of the Ask the Accountant Network. Now, before we go any further, actually, I will do my proper introduction to you guys, but I've just listened to our intro for QuickBooks Labs. I think we need to up it. I think we need to go a step further, because I've just been able to listen to the Sage Savvy intro, and I tell you, that is an intro. It is. Oh, we have been outdone. We've been outdone by the Sage Savvy intro. I'm fuming deep down. I was like, this is our our premium content here. This is the one that everyone really tunes into. We should have the best on this one. Yeah. We'll see if we ever get the 0-1 off and running, what that one's like. But so far, Sage is number top. So,
damn it.
Well, but yeah, look, keep an eye on the network and you'll listen out. So, I am one of your hosts, I'm Patrick, aka the QuickBooks Chap on YouTube. I'm proud to be the digital disruptor of the year, but not for much longer, because what we got, we'll find out who the next digital disruptor is going to be. If you ever watch one of the YouTube, one of our QuickBooks tour shows, or join our live Q&As, you'll know how we're here to make QuickBooks make sense one click at a time. As always, I'm with my wonderful team, my panelists, Amy, #audit Amy. How are you doing? Why are you here?
Good, thank you. I'm here to share the love of QuickBooks, the highs and the lows, and learn myself from you, Aaron, the QuickBooks chap.
The highs and the lows. We'll be talking more about the lows by the sounds of it. A bit of a brief thing of how this is going to go. The one and only Simon. Simon, how are you doing? We got to find a hashtag.
You know that's going to stick now. I'm just going to play Chesney Hawks everywhere I go.
That should be the intro.
My intro music.
Yeah, that's it.
I've lost our whole train of thought now because of Chesney Hawks. Where were we? I'm Simon. I am the software advisory manager at Wilkinson Smith. So we deal with all sorts of software. So I can sit on the fence and compare and contrast everything, basically. That's my role here.
Love that. We've got an absolute cracker of a session lined up for you today. Actually, it's going to be the easiest intro I've ever had to do, because we've only got one thing to look at. And obviously, we can't be talking about QuickBooks without looking at the new changes that are coming. So we're going to be looking at that, deep diving, figuring it all out, and giving you our insights into what's there. Bit of behind the scenes elements for you. We're live and uncensored recording this session at the normal time. I say the normal time of 4:30. And if you're catching us later, you've missed out on all the real-time interaction. So make sure you follow us on socials to join future live recordings and get involved. Also, don't forget we're on your favorite podcast solution out there, so do come along if you are listening to us back later. And if you have a question for us, use the little bit down below, the little intro we've got down below, and you can put a question to the show going forward. We actually have got loads of questions, but the problem are they're questions that came through about a year ago and I missed them. So if you don't get around to them today, we don't get around to them today. But yeah, apologies for missing those questions. But we are now properly looking at them. We put a whole system in place to see them. But if you want to talk to us live, then talk to us live, just like Kirsty is there. Hello, Kirsty. Hope you are doing. And Mohammed as well saying there. Thanks for going live. Quick question. What's one common mistake business owners make in QuickBooks Online, and how can we avoid it? I mean, my answer for that will be not attaching your bank account, because the amount of people who don't attach their bank account me very, very scared. Do you two want to do a quick one for that one before we move on?
I was going to go for the bank account thing, but also using the receipt capture tools. Yes, the QuickBooks one might need a little bit of work, but integrating other ones in to store all your receipts? Let's go with that.
Simon?
I'm going to say before you do any of that, get your chart of accounts right, because without these reports, you won't have a decent business.
Hashtag that's why he's the one.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a very accountant process answer there, isn't it? Let's get a chart of accounts sorted. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
But
All right. Okay.
So that.
Yeah, exactly. Right then, team. It doesn't come around very often, does it, that we get to talk about a whole new user interface being implemented in a piece of software? I mean, when was the last time we've had this drastic change on any piece of software? Sam, you're the king of knowing all the different softwares out there. When's the last time you've had one this dramatic that you can think of?
Not this dramatic. This is I mean, even like, back in the day of the old Sage desktops, it went to change, but the like the same buttons were just slightly different. They were across the top one year, and then the next year they just moved them down the side. But that's just moving. That's just the UI thing. It's not as such as a drastic. This is a proper drastic change. I've not seen anything quite like this.
Go, Kevin.
It feels like a different platform, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we're going to dive into. It looks different, and it's going to feel different. It might take people a bit of time getting used to, I think.
The closest I can think of is like back in the day when you went from Windows XP to Windows Vista and them sort of things, right? It generally feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, if you were, we don't tend to talk about Vista because no one liked it.
No one liked it. We picked it normally.
I suppose actually the biggest change would become anything to almost about to change to Windows 11.
Yeah,
because that was a slight, that was a shift of how that looked, or going from Android to iOS. It kind of feels like that.
Yeah, and that's going to platforms, right? But you're right.
Yeah, when they change and go to iOS and they don't know anything, and vice versa. If I went now to Android, I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah,
or I'd have a good go. But it feels like that kind of shift, I think, without showing stuff. We haven't started showing stuff yet, but that's when that's the shift I'm gonna go with.
And hashtag audit Amy, is this as big a change as when we went to IFRS, or? This is the only tedious thing I could think.
Just throw a standard out there.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's go international. I mean, we're not all international yet. There may be one day that they just go, do you know what, scrap it, we're going international. Yes, I've certainly looked at it from my perspective. I'm like, oh, it looks clean. It's like a white. I like white walls. It's nice and clean. Yeah, it is a big change. Like you were talking about with the phone and Windows, you get so into the habit of doing things that you're not even looking at it, and you'll go into that box and you go into that box and blah, blah, blah. Now I'm like, okay, I actually need to think about it. It's a different, there's less green, so there's more white. And I know that sounds really, really stupid, but actually when talking with QuickBooks before, I'm like, oh, I kind of miss the green a little bit, but it looks like I need to just get used to all the buttons. Our clients just need to get used to it, and then we will learn to love it, and there'll be no looking back.
Okay. I like that. So optimism there from hashtag audit Amy. Right. Without further ado, now for anyone listening, it is going to be a very visual based episode, this one. So we do recommend jumping on the YouTube channel to catch up on it, but we'll talk you through it as best we possibly can. So here we are. Here is the old version of QuickBooks, first of all, just so we can all be acclimatized to what it is that it is.
I see, that's the proper old version of QuickBooks.
Do you reckon? No, this is still current. This is what it is now. This is what it is if you log in.
New version.
Yeah. Now, here is the new version. So in front of us now is a very different approach to how we interact with QuickBooks Online. I think the biggest change that everyone will notice is this left-hand rail, as it's called. Left-hand rail is the new phrase we're supposed to be using for the left-hand side that's down here. And what I think people will mostly miss, or first reactions will be, is a lot of our normal left-hand navigation items are now not in there. To get them back, we click on the My App section, and the My App section opens up pretty much what we're used to, right? So we have this left-hand rail, and then we have the left-hand navigation. Now, left-hand navigation has played around a little bit. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's kind of a few things that are moving around. But overall, if we just look at it from the dashboard looking in, what's everyone's first opinion what we've got here. Who wants to go first?
Okay, I like it. I like the new dashboard because the old one was, yes, you had all this data there, but you couldn't really do anything from it. It's like, do you know what I mean? You had lots of,
Yeah.
You can slide back to the other one. But the quick create actions and that sort of stuff across the top. Yeah, from here, like I couldn't. What can I do here? Nothing. But yeah, the quick actions across the top. I think that's a game changer. You had that first little screen on the old version where it said like create invoice or whatever, but you're able to go show all and start working out which ones you want and customizing that side. I think that's what people, as Amy mentioned, you get used to where things are. That's what's going to be quick, I think.
Definitely. Now, full disclosure, this is the American version, so there are things in here that we may never get. I do have access to the UK version, but I was a little bit unsure as if that's fully available to the rest of the populace. So I thought we'll just go with safety and go with the US one. Amy, what's your first impression so far of the brand new experience for QuickBooks?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm a very visual person. I like a bit of color. Obviously, there's no numbers in there, so I'm hoping the bars will still be colorful and the pie chart will still be colorful. Just like visually looking at it, I really like. Yeah, they're going to come. I really like the search bar at the top.
Yep.
I feel like at the moment you've got to click in on the right hand side, haven't you, to then search. So it's going to be quicker. I know that sounds really. It's a very small thing.
I've got the search bar in the middle on some of my standard QuickBooks licenses.
Yeah, it's not on this one, but you're right. On some of them moved over. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying about the versions of Plus and Advanced have that search bar in the middle already.
Well, we already know that I don't necessarily have the most up to date. We'll get on to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still of the need to click on the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
And have to get it. So I feel like it'll be. Yeah, I'm on that.
And that's QuickBooks. That's the feedback that people like had for a long time on QuickBooks. There's too many clicks to get where I want to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is streamlining that, right?
Yeah, and the action, exactly like you said, the actions, create an invoice. If there's something is specific for me and my client that I'm going to do, I'm going to be able to customize it and make it a lot quicker. A lot of people don't like change, but showing them that actually we can make this easier, it's going to be like, okay, I'll embrace it. I'll go with it. Easier to add the widgets. Yeah, I just feel like it's more user friendly than the previous version.
Interesting. More user friendly. I like that.
What about the whole thing of QuickBooks for accountants, obviously zeros for business owners? I think this pushes it back towards business owners, right? This is flicking the switch back.
I believe that. I think that's absolutely spot on. Because they're going to do more in here, aren't they? Because actually the benefits we have as accountants and bookkeepers are pretty minimal. There are a few things, and we'll look at some of the really cool bits that we get access to, and I think the really cool bits that I think we're going to find really useful to us and we're going to get efficiencies from. But ultimately, this is about making the client have far more power than they've ever had before. That whole integration with MailChimp properly, the whole chance. I mean, you look at this now, when you go to the My App section, it's talking about sales and get paid, and there's whole the sales orders, the sales channels, there's all these things. Again, disclaimer, this is this American version, so we may not get all of this, but even if we get half of what's there, right, like so much more to it than we have, and this is actually really beneficial to us at Boffix at the moment, because we just launched a new company with producer Lizzie, and we're like, how are we going to do our CRM? Do we have to go and pay for all this software that we have that we're having at Boffix, or can we actually use QuickBooks now? Is it possible to do our whole CRM, our whole, looking after our clients and everything in the new QuickBooks Intuit platform? Like, is that a possibility? So far,
I think that's the end goal, right? To have everything in one place, and that's where we're heading.
And that, because my favorite bit that I heard in the kind of intro that we got to this was a business operating system. Like they're seeing Intuit, seeing Intuit and going forward. It's not QuickBooks anymore. It's Intuit as a business operating system or business platform, whatever the term's going to be. And there's a lot to that.
Because it ties in back with we So the other is the enterprise suite. This is the beginning of the enterprise suite, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Everything in one place.
Yeah.
Getting rid of that app fatigue and all that sort of stuff. It's built around that, isn't it?
It is. And I can really get behind that, because the way I was kind of telling other people before was that we were getting to a point with the old version of QuickBooks, I'll go back to it now, where my analogy is that it's almost like this is Jenga, but this is the part of Jenga no one likes at the very end, where it's all getting a bit wobbly and you don't know what you can pull out and what you can't. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're on the verge of falling over. This is that we've started again with Jenga, right? Like, we're now back to that nice square setup where we're going to have lots of options going forward. And I'm really excited for it. What do you think that new left-hand rail, as you can see now? So just so for the people who are listening, we've got a My Menu, which I'll talk about what that means in a moment. That's brand new. That's only got released in the last couple of weeks. We've got the Create button back, the Bookmarks button, the dashboard, the feed, the reports, and then My Apps, and that's it on your left-hand rail, shouldn't say. What do you guys think to just having that there? What's your feedback?
I'm fine with that. Like, I always use the Create button anyway. I'm never going to the individual customers and then going to a customer and then hitting. Or I say that like I'm creating invoices. I'm not, but I'm never going to go. Like, we've trained people on how to get there, but you never, like in real life, you'd go into Create and then clicking on what you want to create, right? And I noticed they've added some extra options in the Create thing now, so you can create. So you can now create a customer and supplier from the Create button, rather than go into customer. Right down the bottom, you can add customers and add vendors now, which you couldn't do before. So there is quite a big menu, but that's where most people are gonna, if they're not using the new quick, what are we calling it? Data rail across the top.
Rail.
These quick create action part.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm pointing at the screen like people can see the screen. If you're not using that, you're going to use the create button, right? So you're going to be creating stuff, and then what else are you going to do after that? Do your reports and your VAT return, which you probably will touch on the My Menu, and the bank rec, which is on that front screen anyway. Like, you shouldn't need to go anywhere else. And that's my opinion anyway. The day-to-day processing.
From your point of view, because I can see from Simon's point, and I think Simon's in the same boat as me, where I don't go in and do much work, if that makes any sense, in QuickBooks anymore. Like, I'm past that now. There are sometimes I'll have to go into my own companies and stuff done, but majority of the time it is on I need to be looking at this data, I need to be understanding, I need to be figuring this out so I can then talk to the clients or whatever it's going to be, right? But Amy, you must still have staff members who are still really in the weeds with this, right? What do you think they're going to think of this?
Yeah, so I'm probably still in QuickBooks every day, and I'm still doing categorizing and posting and whatnot. So I spend most of my time in the transaction screen or the customers or the suppliers, because I'm dealing with the items that don't match, or that we're potentially missing an invoice or something like that. So I was using the left hand bar. I do go into transactions to go to the bank, then go to the customers, then go to so I'd spend my time in there and then drilling down from there constantly. So it was taking a while, because you can have one screen with your bank, and then you have to open the next tab to have your suppliers, the next tab, and then I'd want some reports and whatnot. I like the idea on the new platform that you've got them along the top. So if you can customize the top ones, it's got accounting expenses to have the ones that you want. Because I can see customers, can't see suppliers, but I'm assuming it's like a bit. So, if you're able to get the ones that you want at the front, that could be a lot quicker. I do think actually that having them under My Apps is going to take a little bit longer. It's going to take time for those people that do use the menus, like me and some of my clients, to go, oh no. But if they're all along the top, or we can select which ones that we want, fine. The create actions, I'm the same as Simon. I go to the create. So actually picking the ones that we want within the create actions would make life a lot easier. So it is going to be less clicks, as long as we can customize the top. I think a lot of my clients that do their own bookkeeping would be happy, because they weren't using all of them on the left hand side. You'd have to skip through, and it was always the sales was it called expenses? I can't even think what the screen looks like. Yeah, sales, expenses, transactions, reports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I was just going to say, so having those bits at the top, having the main functions underneath, if those bits are customizable, it doesn't really matter where the My Apps is for a lot of my small business clients.
Yeah, because I think one of the big disadvantages of this is it's become overwhelming. Back to that Jenga analogy, right? We've got so much.
Too many options. Yeah.
And granted, this is an advanced file, so we have even more options in here than your typical client would have, right? Because
it's also where things were, right? Like transactions had, like, that's a weird menu.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Weird. It's a weird name convention.
Why was
account the transactions, for instance.
Yeah. What was it in before? I was just trying to think what it was. What was transactions before? Because I remember the name change, and that caused a bit of problem. Yeah, it was bank, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because when it changed to transactions, clients were like, where's my bank feed?
Yeah, and that's the important thing, right? And I don't know about you, but nowadays for me, this is the best bit about.
Oh yeah, good mark everything. Yeah,
right. And all I'm doing, especially like my Office file, for example, it's got customers, like you're saying there, so I can quickly jump in a customer, see if they paid us or whatever, or, do we need to raise an invoice, whatever it's going to be. Like that's becomes so vital to me, and I think this way we're taking away that app fatigue that you mentioned there within QuickBooks, right? We're getting rid of the complexity, and it is just the bits that we should. And this bookmarks area here, even more customization options. We can move things around. We can be more use this pencil button here and really, move things around. And even go to individual reports and stuff like that. We can now bookmark them as well and bring them in. So I feel like that's the best approach.
Which is what you start getting on more advanced. We talk about enterprise suite, but that's the kind of stuff you start seeing on mid-market solutions.
That more advanced customization options.
Yeah, by user and all that sort of stuff. So it's sort of slightly moving into that realm, which we don't want to move into.
The bit I don't understand is this pinned area. I get the idea that we've got pinned and bookmarks, and pinned are going to be basically these new titles on the top. But when you click them, you don't get to decide what they're going to. They just go straight to the first one. So there's my account. I go to client overview. Expenses, I go to overview. Like, if I could maybe hover over it and it gave me those, this bit here, like it does here. If I go into my apps now, this bit.
You are in your apps. Well, it is just a
It doesn't open it up to give me all of those options. Or if I could choose where about my pin I'm going, maybe that could be my banking one. And I click there and I go straight to banking, for example. But at the moment, my options are I customize. It's just I can pick 3 to be pinned, and I only ever go to the top of that pinned.
I think that the pin bit needs some work. I would be using it yet. In my opinion,
turn them all off. Just ignore.
I would just go to apps and do it from there if I was going to do that.
Yeah.
My only concern, and I know you're in the US version, I know you're probably in the advanced, is if I'm thinking about my small business owners, there are still lots of options.
Yeah.
And there are still lots. So is that My Apps customizable to take out what? No. So, I know we've obviously got the different versions. Maybe these headings there'll be a smaller amount for the smaller ones.
Yeah. So
hopefully
there's a lot less in there, definitely. Yeah.
I'm just thinking there's a lot there that if people doing their own bookkeeping are going to be like, what do these headings mean? Where is chart of accounts now?
And that's not just either the bookmarks or the my menu.
Hopefully.
I think part of the new setup and training and all that sort of stuff will be go and select the bits you're going to be using all the time.
Yeah. And I really wish if we could have had an opportunity to kind of have some feedback on this prior to launch, because it's too late now, right? Like it's going to launch as it is. I would have said that we should be able to create our left-hand rail and set that up for all clients. Like there should be, this is my profile. On my profile, these are the bookmarks I want. So it doesn't matter what client I'm going into, I'm going to get those bookmarks available there, right? Like that's what we need as accountants, bookkeepers to fall in love with this new one and not have, at the moment, a lot of people are going to have, just like Amy's just said, that barrier of, where is my chart of accounts? I've got to go here, and then I've got to go there, and oh, right, there it is. Right, okay, right, found my chart of accounts now. Right, how do I find my receipt? Do you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna and have all that. And yes, you're right. Once we've set it up for the bookmarks, there's no issue whatsoever. I'll be more than happy. But I'm gonna have to go in each individual client, and I'm gonna have to set them all up.
Yeah.
And when you're at 700 odd clients that we're at the moment, like, that's a big effort, right? And it's like, no chance you're even going to be able to complement your practice, right? So that's the bit where I find it really, really tricky there wasn't just that extra bit of like, let's consider the accountant and bookkeepers, let's just give them something that they're going to absolutely wow them from day one. The new, like, this new left-hand navigation, happy with it, not happy with it? I mean, there's a lot there, like you said, isn't there? And again, a lot of this is because we've got the American side, whole lending and stuff we'll never get, right? Business tax, but like, just having things like inventory, and it feels very, very similar to, like you said there, Simon. They're learning a lot from the bigger boys, aren't they, and how they're starting to put theirs together.
Yeah, massively. I think there's still too much going on there.
Yeah,
I think you'd be better off just having my inventory button going into this, and then having buttons across the top, like you on the dashboard. Well, that take me to that screen. Yeah.
Rather than have the options there, because they're all going to be the actions at the top.
Correct.
In
the
that's
search function. We don't have that up anymore. That bar's gone. So if I go to bank transactions now, I can't get to bank. I can't get to reconcile. Whereas before, if I went transactions, bank transactions, I've got this bar here. That's gone.
Yeah.
So you have to have that My Apps pinned open now.
Yeah, I mean, you can close it, but then to get for me to get there now,
you're going to have it pinned.
Yeah.
You're going to pin it open, which then makes your screen.
But you can't pin it open.
A little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you go to reports or dashboard, that's gone.
Yeah, that's the bit that needs some work on, I think. We were talking about less clicks. There's still quite a few clicks.
It's just in a different place, just to get to a different place. Because I'm always going transactions, reconcile, transactions. So you need that. So,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Question though, how do we feel about the word My Apps? Because we already had apps to us was our third-party apps, right?
Yeah, they should be called apps.
They shouldn't, or these, like, how do you?
This should not be called My Apps.
Yeah.
It kind of gives the impression that you can have something, you can take something away. So if it's My Apps and I don't want inventory, that I can remove it from the screen.
That's true.
Because it's
which is the whole point of their new user rights. So, they're only in advanced, aren't they? As in, like, I could have a purchase ledger person, and then therefore their My Apps would just be expenses and bills.
Yeah.
Or whatever. That's the only time I'd want to say, but even then I wouldn't call it My Apps.
Because also, into your own www.myapps.com. Like, surely that's one of their best assets they've ever owned. Like, I don't know what the market value of that would be, but I imagine it's quite expensive. Like, I imagine that's quite a sought after domain name to have. So what's My Apps now? Like, at www.apps.com now, is that to go to the third-party app store, or is that not to the third-party app store? Because now apps are called, they're up here now, integrations.
Yeah, which makes sense.
It is an integration. Yeah, that's what it says on the tin.
We've got to relearn that. And what do we?
I would leave. I don't mind my integrations. That's fine, but I wouldn't have My Apps. I would.
What about integration transactions?
Yeah, well, when you put that hovered over that, I thought, what is that?
That's app transactions. That's the so back in the old world is the app transactions.
Oh, fine, okay.
Yeah. Which was quite new, wasn't it?
Yeah,
even
yeah.
there.
Again,
Did
part of
not.
this gender thing, they just kind of bolted it on somewhere and
Yeah.
didn't quite. Now it's got a place where it should be, right?
I mean, should it be? Yeah, exactly. It's.
I know.
Yeah.
I think we need another poll. What would you call my apps?
Yeah. And
There you go. If
integration.
Lizzie's listening, we need another poll.
Integration transactions is a mouthful.
Yeah.
Yeah, should
Yeah.
it really be? It depends. Would you put it there? I don't know. Because it surely depends what type of integration it is, as well. Yeah, there's some wording that needs changing, I think, but it's little things, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one thing that obviously has moved that was across the top is the accountant tools.
Yeah. So now, great segue there, Simon. Thank you for that. We now have the brand new My Menu bot, and I generally love this. I think this is accountants and bookkeepers only. So sorry if any clients are listening and looking at you don't get this. This is only for us accountants and bookkeepers. And again, if we could have a magic wand and be able to set this My Menu up as this is my menu for every client going forward, absolutely golden. But if I customize this area, I can customize how I want this to be. So here's my accountant's tools now. I can set where that's going to be now, and I can move that around. I can look at what bookmarks I want and what order they're going to be in. What create option. So that create button, technically you don't need anymore because you can use the create button directly from here. So I would definitely have my journal entries right there as an accountant ready to go. And then my accountant's tools, I now have all of these options that I can go into, move around and everything else. So I'm never going to write off invoices, get rid of that. I'm always going in my reports. I have that full control over it now. Press save, and now that my menu is probably where I'm going to be doing a majority of my work going forward. Fully customizable. I get to go in there, get everything set up, and I'm off to the races. Absolutely love this my menu option. I just hope, and I haven't been able to try it yet. I just hope it, or at least in future, I hope it's going to be something that we can have persistent across any client we're in.
Also, it'd be nice if the client has their own, but obviously you won't have the accountant tools, but that would be nice if they had something like that.
Yeah, I'm conflicted. Do we want the client to have it, or do we want to keep
set up their own little menu? I'd love it. Why shouldn't they be able to have their own menu?
You are right. Because also as the advanced user, where do they get the reclassification now? Well, to be fair, they'd never given the toolbox, did they? They were always going up here, were they?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
around here, wasn't it? Yeah, reclassify transactions there. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. I think give them the option of it. To me though, you give us a my menu, I can almost get rid of the create.
Well, that was my point. Have my menu, get rid of create, get rid of bookmarks,
keep your dashboard and put that
get rid of my apps.
Yes.
And then
obviously,
left-hand menu.
Yeah. I mean, for me, reclassify right at the top when I'm dealing with my client stuff. Did I see new window on there as well?
Yeah, that's always been there though. That's always been part of our toolbox, wasn't it? New window.
Oh, on the quick links. I'm thinking of tools. I was thinking of tools.
But the tools and quick links are both in there now, so we can
Amazing. Yeah, I think we should. I really hope we can do it across all clients. We just have that one bookmark area, and for the individual logged in, so we all in our team have different ones. Yeah, it's a shame the client doesn't have it, because I have clients. So most of my clients just do their own sales invoices, so all they need is create invoice, customers. Yeah, you've just got still got a lot there. Yeah. You've still got a lot there for people to go, right, let's just have a look and just. I know it's the first one, invoice, but yeah.
And it is daunting. They'll look at that and they'll be like, "Holy moly!" Do you know what I mean? Like, whoa. But then the flip side of that, though, and this is something that I don't think we'll ever have, but again, if we had a magic wand, wouldn't you love to be able to set this up on behalf of your client? So set their bookmark. It's almost like a checklist to them. When you log in, can you go to this one, this one, this one, this one, and job it? Because that's what we're doing for clients now, but we're doing that whole thing where we're both on Teams. They're logging in. We're talking to them through Teams, telling them to put this, telling them to do this. Like realistically, when we're setting up the license form, which we do for all our clients, we could set up what their bookmark. Like we could set their tasks there. They just go through and get the task. So yeah, I mean,
even a particular report. I always say to my clients, look at a profit and loss account monthly. And if I'm able to do that on every single client, bookmark that profit and loss account monthly. So it's right at the top. Oh,
yeah.
Amazing. No more having to do it by WhatsApp and Teams. No, exactly. You go to standard reports.
Yeah, exactly. One newbie as well is in the right-hand corner of most of the new ones now. We have this new little thing here, and this is to activate Zen mode. The whole point of Zen mode is the whole screen becomes that particular thing there. And I quite like this. You know, there's been times, especially some of the feedback we've had with this new banking area is that there's just not enough space to kind of do what you need to do on it, sort of thing. Zen mode,
yeah, I quite like that.
You get the whole screen. You're looking after that one area, and you're just completing that one area. You know, that I love, and I think that works quite well. And you can Zen mode back and forth as you need to.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the new parts here. So the whole point of going down here, and it's not, this isn't by accident. The reason they've kind of done this big launch is to coincide with their new agent AI and to kind of give us that option to go through from there, right? So we don't have access to the feed in the UK from what I can tell from day one. I think that's coming later. But in the US, this gives us a bit of an example of where this customer or this AI agent AI is going to come from. So on this one, I've got access to 5 different agent AIs. I've got my accountant AI, my payments, my customer, my finance, and my project management. And then I have this new business feed. Now, I'm conflicted about the screen. On one hand, I love the idea of it. And I think, as we've said before, this is going to be very client focused area, right? So maybe it doesn't matter if I like or not like this one, because I probably won't be using it as much. But I'm just worried that this space could be one of those where they'll probably look at it once and never come back to it. I'm a little bit like, we have to wow them, right? Like, it's found a space on our left-hand rail, so this has to absolutely wow them. It needs to go forward. What? I know there's not much on here at the moment, but based on what you can see here, what's your kind of feeling, expectations of what this area is going to be used for?
I feel like it's going to be all the suggestions for improvements or reminders, and you know, where the way that you can improve how you're getting your payments and things like that. I kind of expected, I don't know, when I think about AI agents, I think about those little people, those little Sintra people. Is it Sintra people? And I kind of expected to go accounting agent, like have them blocks next to each other, and each of them making suggestions to you and going, maybe you could try this, or we've noticed this customer's not read your email. Would you like to, you know, things like that. It seems like the agents are like tucked away at the bottom. Right, yes, okay, you've got the big customer agent, but I'm like, oh, what's happening with my payments? I just expected it to be a bit, like you say, a bit more in your face, telling you information straight away, so you're getting value and you're more likely to go back to it later.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, go for it, Tom.
I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'd be like you. I'm not quite sure on this area still. I think it needs, once we get more data in, I think that's potentially when it's going to start. It's going to need a couple of months of data to really, you know, start doing something. Or is it going to look back? I mean, obviously it can look back at all the old data that's already in there and start doing things. But I think if you're going to start using MailChimp and all that sort of stuff, I think that's when it could come to its own. More like it could say, oh, you quoted for this job, or this lead went to your website, and or do you need to send them this, and do you need to follow up that, etc., etc. I think that's where it will be its strongest point.
Yeah, and we don't know yet, but they're called integrations, right? At the top here.
It's just a bit odd to call it. Here's your business feed. Oh, by the way, you can also now generate a bill, upload a receipt, and like that's a bit weird to have there.
Yeah.
Like,
But I wonder what integrations are going to get to access this business feed, because they haven't come up with a term yet. But my understanding is that the whole reason there's this My App section now, and on the dashboard we've got all these bits here, is because there'll be some integrations, apps, whatever you want to call them, going forward, that will have such a deep integration going forward that they will literally be along this line here, right? And like, let's say that it's called solution ABC, right? And ABC will be up on here, and you can have integrated. If they could have access to the feed, I can kind of start seeing where it's coming from. That, like Simon said there, it's one place where you're not just thinking about your QuickBooks stuff, but you've got access to all of it. My only concern of that is if they launch this, and maybe this is why they're not launching with the UK, right? If you launch this and as a user you go here and it's got no use to you whatsoever, it's really hard to get you to come back here again, isn't it? So could they just hold this one back? I don't know.
What I find interesting, these agents, right? It obviously says 5 active agents included in your plan.
Yeah.
Right. So you can have up to 5. I'm guessing there's going to be a load more you can select, and they're going to charge extra for additional agents.
We don't know, do we? I mean,
that's how I would read that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you click that, it doesn't really go anywhere. It just tells you what agents are. But that would suggest that you could maybe build your own agent, or like I said, like part of the apps thing is have more AI agents as app sort of add-ons kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe potentially. I mean, I feel like from the AI point of view at the moment, we're already seeing some really impressive enough, in my opinion, to go, okay, let's be interested on this. Like, let's be frank, with some of the competitors, they've not done enough to be able to go, right, well, that's why we should be excited by this AI thing in some of the competitors, right? I feel like we've got enough here. Loving the reconciliation one, for example, part of the accounting agent. Game changer. I think that's enough to make people go, wow, right, I'm interested. But I'm not sure a whole dedicated page is going to be enough to wow people. I don't know. It's almost like you're forcing them to use it. And
so I've seen this with a lot more data in, and it does do some give you some nice reporting stuff behind it.
Okay.
So I'm lucky to have some clients. Obviously, can't share, but there's got a few clients that are US licensed. So I had a look at theirs, and this does, the generate bills stuff like that doesn't tend to come to the top, but it does say, oh, by the way, you did this, and like when you start putting products in and all that sort of stuff, it starts giving you stuff on that.
Okay.
More around like that inventory area. So like that's quite good. But I think it just depends on, like I said, which apps you are using, whether you're going to find this useful or not. And like I said, then the different reporting and all that sort of stuff. It does start looking at that, trends and all that sort of thing, and spotting where things might be slightly out, or have you checked this, or it'll go, oh, you've still got, your P&L says this, but you've got 50 transactions still left to post and all that sort of stuff. That all comes into here.
Okay. Okay. I can see
so that's more helpful. But then I would have just put this on as your first login screen.
Yeah.
Suggesting that you're missing something. This is your trend. You are missing this bill in a month or something like that. You would
almost
be alerted.
Yeah. This screen, the dashboard screen and the feed sort of merged.
Mm-hmm.
And then your create actions are more a case of, this is what I've spotted in your data. This is what you need. Here's your create action from there.
Yeah.
And yes, then everything else is away in your My Menu create kind of thing. That would be how I would do it.
Yeah.
And then it brings the feed. People are getting used to the feed the whole time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
they've got to be bought into, right? Like it is part and parcel of that.
Especially it says at the top, I've got ideas for where you might want to focus today. Great. Well, tell me that when I first log in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That made me have to go to the My Feed section to go from there. Because one thing I'd love this to interact with is us as accountants, right? Imagine as an accountant, we could post to all our December year ends by the way, December year end's done. If you can reconcile these accounts, if you can reconcile your bank accounts and tick this box here to let us know, or whatever, right, however that's going to interact with, that I can see super powerful, right? Like we're literally, we're pushing requests to our clients through this bank feed, business feed. We're asking them to do things for us.
Yeah.
That whole client request thing that we looked at last month, right?
Yeah.
Stick it on here, like give the clients a bit of a checklist to go through and say, oh, your accountants ask for this bit of information, don't forget this, right? And keep recycling it to them, or whatever it's going to be, right?
Well, I think we talked about it before, and then if we're using, did we talk about it last time? The whole integration with QuickBooks Practice Manager is that teams of bookkeepers and all that's that's like will have their deadlines and their their workflows and all that sort of stuff out. And if there's the points in there in that flow that says client must send XYZ or uploaded this, and it's coming to here going, we're expecting this by the 7th of September for your VAT return. Right, client, I've seen that request. Tick, I'm done.
Yeah, and it's a business feed.
Gets rid of an email.
Yeah, and it's not just the business feed that QuickBooks is generating information, but we, as the accountants and bookkeepers, are providing data for it. Like that's why I see this being powerful. And at the moment,
that's how I see it going as well. That whole platform thing of being all integrated and AI, and that's how I would see it.
Yeah, exactly. What else was it? I mean, reports section seems exactly the same. Still, until we see other apps get the option to put other reports in here, I'm not 100% sure why it's by itself. Like, it's like, okay, it's separate, but why? Why is it separate?
There's nothing extra in there, is there?
KPIs got released last month, didn't it? This needs work. I'm not gonna lie. This is very disappointing as a release. But literally all we get to is click into it. We have no proper editing options really, and everything else. So really disappointed in this. I feel like this, this when I heard the phrase KPI, I was getting really excited, and I thought there was options for us to really impress our clients.
Build your own KPIs and all that sort of stuff. It's just your book.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not what this is. Interesting. There's still got cash flow planner and overview in the US. So maybe it's not dead after all after we've fought. So maybe it is still around. But pretty much exactly the same, isn't it? How performance ends is still here, I don't know.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, there's things in here that you just don't want anymore, right?
Yeah, and how spreadsheet sync is still.
I said I forgot it was there. Performance center.
Oh, performance center.
Well, because you can't edit it anymore. Yeah, it's sad.
The spreadsheet sync need its own little place in the reports area. I feel like if they're gonna, if reports is that vital that we're gonna have its own thing on our now very premium estate of the left-hand rail, which is like premium property value at this point. I feel like we need to put our best foot forward, and I just feel like reports have just been picked up and just plonked without really having thought about it. Yeah, but apart from that, I think realistically, like that's what we're going to be launched to.
It's just going to be a big. I think we spoke about it outside of this. Like, it's a big education piece that needs to be done, right?
Yeah.
Because on the 1st of November, I mean, it's not everyone in one go, is it? Which is what we discussed last time as well. But at some point, the client's going to log in, and if they've not watched the video that was sent out, they're going to go, "Huh? What happened?"
They're going to question: have they gone to the right place? Like, have they logged into the right software?
That's the point. So, if they're not reading the emails, they're going to rely on either us or some sort of outreach to get them in front of this to see this. Yes, we could turn it on for them early, but you still got to have that conversation with them, right?
Yeah.
So there's a whole education piece that needs to be done for the end user, both internal and the client.
And this is why I haven't done the switch, because none of my clients have mentioned that they've seen the communication or
No.
anything about it. So I'm going to have to get my head around everything and make sure that I've got things in the right place that I want them to be, and have a plan of what bookmarks I want them to have and everything like that before I even think about it. And then I'm going to have to communicate with them about it, because they're not going to, then even if they got the email, they'll be like, oh, what? Oh, I don't need to worry about that yet. It's November. They'll forget about it, even if they did read it. So
yeah, but also then it's the whole thing we talked about before about the rollout of updates is that you could educate a client for the 1st of November and then they might not get it till March. We don't know what that time frame is between when people are going to get this. So do we then, we're looking at it and we're going to put a couple of clients onto it that we only deal with internally. So a client doesn't get involved with bookkeeping. We're going to use that, put a couple of clients on to get some of our staff up to speed with it.
yeah.
But then from an external point of view, do we just run a webinar every 2 weeks until we know everyone's been migrated over? That's something we're sort of thinking, that's something we're sort of banding around, because we don't know when everyone's going to be switched over by.
And I don't think we've got an easy way to know, have we? We still don't have that way of. Yeah, there's no QuickBooks Online accountant area that we can see. These are the clients who are on the new version, or these are clients on the old one. Like that is something,
right? We can bulk edit them in. Is that right? I'm sure I saw that.
Well,
it says
there's something that comes up, isn't there? I've seen it. You switch people over.
Yeah, in the practice.
Yeah, it's using an Excel spreadsheet, though, isn't it? That you have to upload up. And
I just saw the pop-up. But we must be able to get a screen. It kind of goes alongside. It sort of needs to go alongside those usage rights as well, really, to say, they want this version with this is their usage rights. So that's a screen we sort of need to cry out for, really.
I mean, it wouldn't be nice if we got QuickBooks Labs back. I mean, the whole point of this, or the name that we stole this name of the show was, we used to have, didn't we, QuickBooks Labs down here. So,
can I make this black?
You want this black, do you?
Can I make it dark mode?
In fact, where has dark mode gone? Because dark mode was
there was a dark mode.
Where's it gone? It's disappeared. Yeah, dark mode and thingy mode gone.
I want to be dark mode zen. Set dark mode zen mode. But yeah, it's the other thing. We digressed. Yeah, I think that's an education piece is going to be key for everyone, I think.
One other positive on this is now, from all my testing, this seemed to be finally friendly on any size screen. I don't know if you've tried to play around with the old version, but this doesn't scale well. So going down, going up, it was it was just built on the old, it was a Jenga kind of sort of situation, right? Now though, I am able to kind of, doesn't matter how small the screen, if I've got a flip phone thing, and put it on there, I could, if I need to, get on with my work, right? If I'm on my Vision, Apple Vision Pro, and I've got it like the biggest I want to do, it will now scale appropriately. So that's nice. I really, really hope that we get a QuickBooks app update at the same time, so that it just literally is like the terminology.
Yeah.
I think the one thing is, once we throw a load of data at it as well, is it going to be quicker?
It's got to be.
Quite a lot of people say, QuickBooks is slow, et cetera, et cetera. Is this going to be quicker?
You've got to hope that's the case. I mean, a lot of that is down to that we're running 2 report systems at the same time. So once we move to modern reporting, I'm almost confident that we're going to get a much better experience. But when that happens, ideally this should coincide with us moving to the new reports, right? Like we're pulling the band-aid off. Let's just completely rip it off at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get the whole cast.
I think we said it last time that some of the new reports you can't do certain things with still.
Yeah, but you've got to have that ready and waiting to go, haven't you? Like you would have thought. For this to really land, like you really need to release your AI features with it, and you need to kind of have that on thing. I don't know if it's on here as well, but the only other new thing that I've got is the new estimate experience. I don't know if it's working on this one. It looks like it is. So if I go to email view, so we can now review and approve directly in the what you call it as well. And I have seen a concept as well where once you've got the new QuickBooks Pay option on as well, they can make a payment, like a deposit to the estimate to accept the approval and things like that. So it's nice.
Ooh, that's nice.
Liking that a lot. I don't think we can turn that on here, but yeah. Go from there. It's interesting that somehow, even on the brand new version of QuickBooks, we have the very old QuickBooks logo there. So that's now 2 QuickBooks logo old. So not sure how that's made it through.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it to an extent. I'm still waiting for the new invoicing on a lot of my clients. So when Simon was saying about needing to know, yeah, I need to know. It's been how many months? I feel like it must be getting on to nearly a year since they said that we should all be getting invoicing in stages and everyone in advance should have it. So, I mean, if I move my clients to this platform, I'm hoping that means that then they've got the new invoicing. So maybe that will force my hand a little bit. Yeah, just keeping us in the loop as to when would be grand.
And I think that's a really good point, because I think one of the frustrations we got now is this inconsistency with updates and everything else, isn't it? And it's back to that Jenga point. So this should be the reset, that once we're on this new platform, we should have a much more streamlined experience between all our clients. We should have, better feature parity to America and everything else and go forward, because that was part and parcel of this new update, right? It's they want us to get day and date updates, or at least quicker updates going forward. My last bit, just because we get to see this and we don't have this in the UK, is all these amazing overviews screens. I'm very jealous of all these, right? We have a lack of overview screens in the UK product. Would we want to see these? Would we want to see these start coming over? I would imagine there's no reason why we shouldn't, right? Even to the fact that even the expenses area now has an overview. So now we've got all of these data coming through and stuff like that. I feel like the overview thing is quite a nice bit that we then, and like to Simon's point, things like the inventory overview means that you don't need all these jumping in and out. You can kind of do it all from here. So any thoughts on the overview screens?
I like that customer. We're not. Did you say we're not getting that? The first one.
I can tell we don't have access to it now. So. Not all the overviews. Like the sales overview, we already have, right? So I imagine
the customer hub one.
But we don't have one for expenses and bills, from what I can tell.
I'm on the fence with that.
I'm just thinking about my small business clients. I think a lot of them that just want the overview, just to see that dip in.
And I would have that put it on the feed.
On the feed?
Oh.
Yep. Get rid of some buttons, put it on the feed. That's where you want it to be, right?
Yeah, information that I need to see.
And you're going to ask. The idea is that why would you click on your expenses overview to find out what you've been spending, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're thinking the reported side needs to be on the feed, right? Okay.
Yeah. But then you go and you come into here and it's not here. Hello, Mr. Cubio AI. What's my expenses? Give me the thing. There's my AI chatbot giving me the data.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's what I was also expecting in this.
Is the AI chatbot area.
To go, I want, and that's where some of the others, not direct competitors, but that's where some of the other sort of larger mid-tier ones are going to say, in my AI agent, or Sage are a prime example, right? With Copilot, that's probably the market leading one in this space, I think, at the moment. I think we're safe to say that. Go and run me a report of my debtors and what day they were supposed to be paid by, and blah, blah, blah. Boom, done.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
That's what I was expecting to come into here as well.
You kind of want to have that chat GPT.
Yeah, at the top.
It's just a chat bar, isn't it? Yeah.
Remember when did we first see Intuit Assist? 3 years ago?
Yeah.
was it 3 years ago, QuickBooks Connect? 3, and that's the kind of stuff they were sort of, it was being asked, right?
Yeah.
Where's that bit gone?
And where is it going to go if it's not going to go in my? It's got to go in the my feed, right?
It's got to go into feed.
Which
and that's
would
why
mean people are going to come back.
You're full circle, but that's why it needs to be the home screen.
Yeah.
Kirsty says, I haven't had my new interface yet, like the new bank. Got used to it. Oh, that's good. That's really, really good. The only thing I found with the new bank that's frustrating me is if you have multiple items that you need to match. So in the old interface, you'd have that nice little list and you could just tick which one it's going to be. In the new banking one, we have to click into another screen, then it forgets what it's going to do and it goes through from there. So it's getting there, but that's a bit where I'm struggling with it. Ros joined us. Good morning, Ros. Hope you're doing well. I think got some love in the chat for Amy. Ros says excited, but is the US or advanced version of the new interface? Yeah, sorry, Ros. This is the US advanced version that we're showing on screen at the moment. I was a little bit unsure if I'm allowed to show the UK one. Pretty much exactly what we've got here, minus the feed section. We don't have the feed section at the moment, and from the app's point of view, we don't have all these overview bits and stuff that we've got showed there. But pretty much, it's going to be exactly the same as what we've got. Awesome, and there we have it. We're on time. Team, as always, what do you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about? Go for it. Amy, you go first.
Well, I'll be going to Accountex Manchester.
Oh, you are going, are you?
I am, as well, you did persuade me to go. So hope to see all of you there. And yeah, hopefully there'll be some good announcements coming through on the day.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Should be a good one. Simon, anything you want to?
Sorry, I was busy trying to log into something that's on the new version in the UK just to see if there was any differences. Which is the one I could share. There's nothing major. Like you said, sadly the feed in there. I think that's the bit everyone wants.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Like without the feed, I don't know. We're just going to get a lot of people upset about the new update, aren't we? As opposed to having them have that really cool new features that we had. I feel like that's going to be the tricky bit, isn't it? Like if we had a few of the extra new bits in here. Why is CIS not under tax?
Tax, but yeah, it's. I thought the whole thing of this was to have the feed.
Yep. We got team payroll
because you can have. Yeah, it just needs a bit tidying up. Anyway, that was just the roles more than anything else.
But yeah, it's the feed we're missing, right? Which basically means we're also going to be missing a lot of the AI features because it's the feed that kind of pushes the AI.
That infuriates me. Because the whole point of moving to the platform is to have all the AI features, and we haven't got. Yep.
But anyway, Simon, what would you like to?
What do I want to plug? I haven't got anything to plug at the moment. We can plug this more in this podcast. Go and listen to the old episodes where we can, or go and listen to the last episode where I had a full-on rant. That's always worth. Sorry.
I highly recommend it.
Highly recommend that for your bedtime listening. Otherwise, yeah, I'll be here next month. And you can find me on LinkedIn.
Hopefully, we'll have a 0-1 soon, especially with the ZeroCon happening. Final one from Roz. Currently, you can only add or exclude all clients to the new interface, but I understood we would have more granular control. No. And in fairness to them, yeah. I when they told us that, I thought that was a big build. I just don't see the appetite to do any more big builds, really. When ultimately for them, they want to just get us all on the new platform and move on from there, isn't it? So, yeah, and we're not far from being forced onto the new platform anyway, are we? Really, when you think about the pace the year's going alone, blink and it'll be. I mean, we had someone in the main ask the accountant show the other day tell us how many days it was till Christmas. So
no, you said it.
No,
not allowed. can't be mentioned until at least the 30th of November.
There's so much before then to mention. There's Halloween. That's in the shops now.
Okay. But yeah,
That's why
before we know it,
Halloween.
before we know it, we'll all be on the new platform anyway. So
yeah,
it's nice. Right, everyone. Don't forget the rest of the Ask the Accountant network. We have QuickBooks Labs. That's this one. We have the Watch series tomorrow, where we're going to be talking all about Sage. So we're going to be trying to see if Sage is the right one for MTD going forward. So that'll be fun to see. And yeah, keep an eye out as well for the main Ask the Accountant episode in a couple of weeks' time when we celebrate the 150th episode. And we've got some exciting news to give everyone about new ways in which you can interact with Ask the Accountant. So that was it. That is our episode of QuickBooks Labs. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on this little talk. And we'll see you bright and early next time. Oh, no, it was. I thought it was a different question, but it's not. So, yeah, I'm going to get out of here before I start clicking the wrong thing. So, thanks, everyone. It's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from me.
Bye.